morning. Are we having a fantastic horror fest before the Christmas season?
I thought we already were.
Yeah, sadly, we did lose a certain masked icon from our yesteryears. May you rest in peace, Peter Green.
Several people have passed on.
Most recently. But
I mean, just within this week, we found out. Yeah. Well, I found out just in my own voice actress who I had a little bit of an interaction with throughout the years has passed on. Miss Julie Mayfield, who she was originally. This was back in the day. It was way back in the day. She was originally Toru's mom in Fruits Basket. She did a lot of voiceover work for Funimation, Crunchyroll, as like older mother characters or older elderly characters. And again, didn't seem like it, but it was like, yeah, she passed away recently. And of course, Peter Green, of course, passed away.
He played Dorian Tyrell in The Mask, which is
several
four greatest films of 1994.
Several other people have passed on. I'm like, well, some of them have been just like, okay, that is not that was out of left field that they passed on. But we'll also celebrate Dick Van Dyke. Celebrated his 100th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And he's still walking around. I don't know how, God knows how, but he's still around. Mm-hmm. So blessings towards him, but sadness for those that we have lost along the way. Mm-hmm. Oh boy. So what are we doing so early in the morning?
Well, we are here to discuss a sword horror film. Well, it's not a horror film, but it tries to advertise itself as such. Terrifying! The Phantom House of Devil's Pass! Well, at least there actually is a house this time.
Well, at least, I think they might have had a contract with Hokkaido because, again, we're again back up in Hokkaido. I'm like, what is in Hokkaido that is so important to Gorgum that they went back there multiple times? Contract, maybe just, I did actually read up that during this time in Japan, because you know how many people don't know that Japan is just a collection of islands? They really think it's all connected.
Yep.
Oh no, like the mainland, the big chunk that you think is Japan, that's one island. And then there's like one down here and then one up here, which is Hokkaido. It's pretty much like, like you want to talk about the countryside, like, all that. That's what those two islands are. And even the one to the left of it. Like snowfields and farming and kind of not the suburbs, but it's like very agricultural. And then you have mainland Japan, which is what again, it's you see it in this movie, the change in time and day and in culture, So I was like, that's actually pretty cool that they don't focus just on one spot in this series. They go into like different areas. But I kind of wonder why so many times in Hokkaido. But again, like I said, they're trying to get tourism and trying to get people to like go out and see more of the country. Because again, at the time this movie was filmed, the population of this city that they're in was only 6,000. Apparently, afterwards, the popularity went up. And also the city that they're in is very famous for their melons.
Yep.
So don't just go visit Japan to go visit Tokyo, people. Go out and visit the rest of the country. There's more to see out there. I wish I had time to go up to Hokkaido. But yes, this movie, I can literally sum it up to you in one way. Do you remember how Ichigo had the one episode where he fought all of his past kaijin in one go?
Yeah.
That's pretty much what this
Classic trope.
That's pretty much what this is. They took an episode of Ichigo and decided, we're going to make a movie because we're going to get every past kaijin that we had to show up in this as like, you know, a 1B, I don't know, what was it, 12, 13 monsters that were in this?
Remember how we made jokes about G-Bon looking like RoboCop? Well, let's just throw in the Edna 9000 in there for just for funsies. And let's have it not even be involved in the film.
Well, you know, I did think of the Ed 09, but I also looked at it and I'm like, is this a rejected Ultraman robot? Is this Scavenger? Is this King Joe? Like King Joe's little cousin or something? Because I'm like, this robot, I'm like, so are we gonna use this thing? Do we have money in the budget to turn it on? It's like, no, it's just there. So no robot. Why the hell? You know, this seriously asks the question: why introduce it if you weren't going to use it? You're being a tease at that point. I'm expecting that the Kamen Rider is going to fight a giant robot. It's like, yeah, you see, he don't need to be giant to take on some giant robot. No, no, not even. Not even. We'll give you all the past kaijus though. Like we know, you know, he could take them on. Like, yeah, but I really wanted to see him fight the giant robot though.
Yep.
So honestly, you know, this movie, just like the past one, is available on YouTube if you wish to see it. It's under the official Tokusatsu World YouTube channel. Make sure subtitles are on, because if you don't, it's pretty much just playing by itself. Although I'm kind of like, you know, like, all right, so what? Apparently, Gorgum is scheming again.
Yes. And they're actually making some better plans for a change, more or less.
As for what it is they're scheming about, I kind of was at the 20-minute mark of this movie, and I was like, I get what you're doing. I understand, but
I mean, they kind of said it in the beginning of the movie, but we don't really see it till 20 minutes into the movie.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, I was like, okay, are we actually gonna? Because again, this town, how do you pronounce it? I have it right here. Right. Oh, that's one. Okay, so we're up north. The movie starts up north in the city of, and forgive me for the butchering of this, someone probably be like, no, that's not how you say it. Yubari, which is in Hokkaido. Apparently there is an untapped resource that humans are not aware of underneath this town. Not saying that, okay, are we talking about the hot springs? Is that what you guys are talking about? Because, I mean, that area of Japan is very well known for hot springs. They don't really say. They just say it's an untapped power that they have that has not been used. I'm like, all right, okay. So what do you plan to do? We plan to be just like anyone else. We plan to drive the locals out and to build a massive mansion here. So you're real estate developers.
Mm-hmm.
You fiends.
Absolutely. Oh, cool. Now the question is, did they use the same real estate agent as Shocker, or did they use that real estate agent's cousin?
Well, I mean, we go to a matte painting that shows what it is that they're trying to build, and I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of respecting that they're not being very secretive now. They're just gonna build this, what looks like a combination of like the Cobra base place set and Skeletor's hideout from those respective shows. Because they got a big old snake and like flying cars and whatnot. I'm like, okay. All right. All right. So we're not hiding anymore. We're literally making this a thing like for people to see. Okay. Okay. I guess the whole secret Illuminati thing just kind of flew out the window. It's like, no, fuck that. That's not working anymore. Well, yeah, like again, in the show, you guys don't, after the tone change, you guys really don't even hide in the shadows anymore. You're pretty much in broad daylight. So, okay. Building a giant fortress with flying vehicles and a fire spinning snakehead, that doesn't seem out of the ordinary.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, 600 miles that way, we go to Kotaro with the girls and they're shopping.
Just shopping, and they find bikinis that's weirdly enough kind of hint at Black RX.
Why? How is that?
Green top, black bottoms. I don't know. Those are Black RX colors. Just saying.
The foreshadowing that some people say that Black RX is actually wearing bikini bottoms as his bottoms. I'm like, well, so is Black. So is Black. I mean, if you take a look at Black, it's like, oh, but he's wearing. Oh, yeah, but see, that's why a lot of Kamen Riders, especially today, don't really do that. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you look at them all,
I know Black's design was supposed to be more similar to Metal Heroes, where they do have that giant metal cod. Well, I wouldn't say cod piece. It looks more like a diaper, to be honest.
Yeah. But the original director of Black was actually a driving force in the creation of Metal Heroes.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate Black's design where it's not so bulky that it's an eyesore compared to most Metal Heroes. And I do like how they do make the undersuit look like chitin, and boy, do I love the steam coming out when he transforms.
Oh yeah, Chitin.
We didn't discuss it too much so far, but like better late than never. But yeah, no, it's
the suit itself is honestly like, again, it makes it seem like it is armor, but it's also organic, as it should be, because technically he didn't fully mutate. He is just he's just kind of like halfway, I guess. That's how they've explained it. The steam and everything coming out gives off that real like a biomechanical vibe, and also just like, yeah, no, this is an actual living being, not some machine under here.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that I mean, a lot of people have talked about how like that just looks weird, but I'm like, yeah, well, again, most Kamen Riders, if not all of them now, don't even do that. It looks like they're just wearing a pair of pants.
Yeah. Although I do like how in some of the Neo Heisei eras, it's like it looks like they got like thigh pads, if anything.
Yeah. It's kind of like the original Ichigo just kind of had like a tracksuit looking thing, and I guess the other riders did too,
with like a foam armor.
Yeah, and then like again the 80s. It's they really went with the full covering, and I mean, Kamen Rider Shin. That right there could also be. I'm like, well, that's again more bio-organic.
Yeah, the '90s writers were more like
They
they
were
try to
more,
make it look completely like a skin.
yeah, it was more like Metal Heroes, more like complete. But it's like, yeah, it was made to be like armor. And then for some reason, towards like the end of that, and even in the Heisei and Neo Heisei, they didn't really do that.
Yeah, like starting with Kuga was more like
Upper
tight suit, tight suit with chest armor and arm guards,
yeah,
and maybe leg guards. But then let's see. I like how Kabuto used like a striped mesh. Let's see. Deno and Kiva did that's probably when they started using the thigh padding. Let's see, more thigh padding, more thigh padding. Yeah,
no,
like that's pretty much.
Kiva had like more of pants than he had thigh padding. I'd say Double was the one that had the thigh padding.
No, Kiva had a bit of the thigh padding on his. Had a bit of. It's more on the front rather than like going all the way around. But then W actually did go all the way around.
Yeah, Double was honestly, again, the Double kind of seemed like, again, like what is with Black, because that one actually was a full armor set. It wasn't just like, again, chest, arms, and then just pants at the bottom with boots. Because that's what they did with Ols. And then even in Forze, it's like, and Wizard, it was like, yeah, no, that there actually is like a cloth like outfit underneath the armor. Kind of like more so like they really hammered in, as they do like historically with like samurai armor. It ain't just all armor, people. There actually is clothing and cloth underneath you or that hold it together. So sometimes I look at medieval knights and I'm like, how did you guys even move? That just seems almost like, no, it's a tank, obviously, but I'm like, the mobility just doesn't seem possible.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Apparently Gorgum had again, this is what I asked him. So are you just kidnapping scientists now?
Looks like it. But what's funny? It's like Kotaro just noticed the scientists completely by accident.
There should be no reason. I'm like, it's just a guy coming out from the back of a truck. He could be making deliveries or something or whatever.
Yeah, but he seems stressed.
How did you know? But again, I'm out. So Gorgum, do you no longer have the influence to have scientists and politicians and whatnot working for you guys willingly? You now have
apparently they held the mayor hostage with his family, which means that we are retroactively ripping off Turbo Man.
That's true. That is true.
Can you imagine if Kamen Rider Black showed up with an Austrian accent? It's like I am the child of the sun. I am Kamen Rider. I will destroy Gorgum and save my brother.
You know what? That sounds stupid, but again, if the 80s were more, if the 80s were more open to foreign products as well, somewhat
like they were now,
then yeah, I could imagine that if they were to bring a Kamen Rider series, they would have dubbed over it or they would have done something, but they would have had like, again, not like, again, just for a gimmick, like they would have had like, I don't know, like just as a gag, obviously like, like Schwarzenegger or Stallone or worse, Seagal. No, Seagal wouldn't fucking do it. He wouldn't fucking do it. Care what the hell he says, he wouldn't fucking do it. But just some random action hero coming from the mouth of this hero, and I'm like, you know what? I don't hate this idea. I would love to see it, but at the same time, I think if we lived in that timeline, we would be like, Well, it was a product of its time.
Yeah.
It's a
I can
product of
imagine
its time.
Schwarzenegger just like going up to like one of the Gorgon mutants and be like, "Hey, it is time for you to black out."
Ow! I'm getting shot by lasers. Ah! What are you doing? Ah! Yeah.
That's it. It's time for us to go for a ride.
I mean, I don't know how fucking Stallone would have gone about it, you know. Like I barely always Stallone sounds like he's fucking mumbling in all of his movies.
Yeah.
When
Can you
he
imagine? Can you imagine if Stallone was talking? I could have been a writer.
and I could just no, you know what? I couldn't imagine Stallone doing this because it's just one of those things. Like it's so not any of his movies. He's just talking. He's never enunciated, and when he does show some emotion,
Actually, I just
it's
realized if
very forced.
Stallone was a Kamen Rider, he should be a writer, man. Just so that like you just like see his mouth be like, it's like I could have
No,
been a
you
writer.
know why? He would have pissed everyone off because it's like halfway through he would have took like as it started he would have took off the helmet.
Yeah,
He
he
would have
probably
took
would.
off the helmet, be like, "No, they got to see my face. How do they know it's me?" I see. That's why Judge Dredd was like hated by fans. He never takes off the helmet, but you
It's
just
true.
have
You would not know it was Carl Urban playing him in the remake if like you
yeah.
didn't read the end
It,
credits.
it, no joke. I remember people like when I was a kid talking about it, and they were all mad because it's like, why the hell? Like, you know, we never see his face. Like, oh, that's because Stallone had creative control over it,
And there
and
was
just
only like one really good line in the movie. Let me guess. Life? Death.
yeah, it's
But I
like
know people remember more a certain other like
it's kind of like again, like Demolition Man had come out previously. It's like it's pretty much a sequel to the people thought it was a sequel to Demolition Man.
Oh yeah. No,
Oh,
I'll say this. My
what?
favorite scene from Demolition Man is when he ate that burger,
Hey, look,
and it's like
you
it's
know,
made of esta hecha de ratón. It's like she said it's made of rat.
yeah.
Still a pretty damn good burger.
Look, man, when you live in that kind of future, and you again, you know, seriously, I mean, everything went to shit. No matter how you look at it, that future went to shit. No matter how you looked at it, I mean, just even the most simplest things gone. It's like, but when you do get, I don't give a shit. Like, I just want it. All right, good
Yeah.
for you, good for you. Although I'm not a big fan of what's his face, what was the comedian's name who was in that movie?
Oh,
Um,
Rob Schneider.
no, not Rob Schneider. No, not Rob Schneider.
Wait,
The other.
wait, not Rob Schneider?
I mean, I'm not a fan of Rob Schneider, but I don't
I'm,
dis
I'm trying. I'm trying to figure out who the other character, who the other comedian even was.
the one that kept that rants in that movie. I forget his name.
You sure that's on Rob Schneider? Because
No,
Rob Schneider rants a lot in that movie.
no, it's not Rob Schneider. It's the guy who was in the same scene with the rat when they found out like there was just a
Okay. We switched gears. My bad.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's also a comedian, but I don't remember his name. But I'm like, you know what? I get what you're saying, and I totally understand. But at the same time, shut up, because you're one of those guys that just never shuts the fuck up.
Yeah, like like I'm gonna be real though. Like I've never seen Surf Ninjas. I've seen Three Ninjas, especially the third one because you had Michael Lasky playing a character that isn't named Rocky. Um, but like Surf Ninjas, like I'm watching the trailer for the first time on Instagram because you know how like Scott loves to post like trailers for movies of guests that appear in it, and of course we gotta give that shout out to Ernie Reyes Jr. We love Ernie Reyes, uh, but like randomly seeing Rob Schneider in the trailer, like whoa, what is Rob Schneider doing in this movie? Again, not hating Rob Schneider. I'm just surprised he was in the movie at all.
Yeah, well, Rob Schneider does anything for a paycheck. If it's not Adam
Yeah.
Sandler helping him out,
Oh yeah, no.
which he actually told Sandler to F off, I'm like, Rob, you got some nads. This guy literally made your career, and you're telling
Yeah.
him, wow, okay,
Yeah.
wow,
He
wow,
played a Canadian Japanese, a Polynesian, a
wow,
Gazan.
wow. Just,
Did he play a black guy? I don't remember.
I don't know, but I'm like, you wouldn't even have a career if it wasn't for Sandler. All right,
Yeah.
let's be honest. But that's neither here nor there. But just wow. Bit the hand that fed you for all those years. Wow. Okay,
You know,
whatever.
speaking of Cronenberg and Rob Schneider, I've seen Hot Chick, but I've never seen The Animal.
It's better.
Should I watch The Animal?
It's better to watch Hot Chick and be like, yeah, no, okay.
Yeah, because I feel like The Animal is sort of like a gender swap version of Vixen, but less pleasant to look at. Not gonna lie though, if you're gonna gender swap Vixen, I don't know, maybe get Idris Elba to play, the Vixen. Just saying. Not Rob Schneider, but yeah, no, but seriously though, if the scientist wasn't like panicking around, Kotaro wouldn't have followed him. But even if he was panicking, it's like, why did you suddenly decide to follow him? I mean, it's good that you did because that unraveled some things. But
again, it just didn't seem right. It's like Kotaro just again has that Ichigo plot of like just things happen to fall in his lap, or he happens to know that someone isn't. And don't tell me it's because of the King Stone in his body. It's like, no, that's not it. Okay, like
yeah, I mean Dax of Illinois maybe would get that because he evolved from an insect.
As again, there is nothing in this show that would confirm that what Kotaro has in his body is actually being used for good. Okay, he's using it against the people. He's doing it against them. But in all honesty, the King's Stone, any of this doesn't hear the plight of the people, doesn't care. And even so, we see with Nobu, and even later on that the royalty of the Gorgum faction really doesn't even give a shit about its own mutants. Hell, we have that proof with the three wise guys. They talk about caring for them. We need to get them food.
But they keep using them as fodder.
Yeah, you're using them as body bags. What the hell do you mean you care? You don't care. Well, they're just tools for you to use.
I'll even raise you, at least with Ghost Rider. Like the whole point of his power is to detect wicked people because his job is to collect souls of the wicked, not corrupt, like kind souls, but take souls that were already corrupt and burn them. Like, there's a difference here. And like, that's why, at least with Ghost Rider, you could say, oh yeah, I know, like his satanic powers are used for good because that's what those specific satanic powers were used for. Granted, it's for Mephistopheles' personal gain. But the point is, it's only used for the explicit purpose of punishing the wicked and the cruel. But here, the Kingstone doesn't care. It doesn't care.
The Kingstone doesn't care, so it doesn't be like, oh, one of my subjects is in plight. No, there's none of that. So again, it falls under the Ichigo banner where it's like, apparently magically Kotaro just knows that this guy is in dire need, and it just kind of falls in his lap. That where in the original airing of the show, Kotaro would be doing investigation and figuring things out.
Yeah. Heck, even in Kiva, like the Checkmate 4 can psychically sense when people violate the laws of the Fengires. Like, oh, some human's getting married to a Fengire. I must be off. Some human is making some kind of invention that will somehow benefit humanity for some reason. I must go destroy them. But like here, it's like Kotaro just happens to notice a guy. I love
And
how we're hung up for the last 10 minutes on this one scene.
well, again, it's just one of those points that I'm like, yeah, again, this is not black. This is not how it would traditionally or how it was set up to work in black.
Yeah, and
Like,
just a reminder, one time Transformers 4, the longest of the at the time 5 Transformers movies, I had to summarize in 20 minutes. I did the whole thing in 13 and a half minutes, and I spent 5 of those 13 and a half minutes talking exclusively about one very specific scene. You know the one.
yeah. Look, honestly, it's not so much of a hang up. It's just again, like again, we could
It's
tell
just that
that
one thing.
you could tell that again. The writing, the directors, they all just kind of again. You started out great, and then now it's falling into the Ichigo times of like everything just kind of falls into the Kamen Riders like lap, like it just piece by piece. Because not only do they, get the guy and he talks to them, we find out that so Gorgum again made this scientist build a robot, infiltrate Yubari, the city of Yubari, just as like again, like maybe a 45 to an hour drive out of Sapporo. It's like, so wait, so the town of Sapporo is right over there. The main metro is right over there, and you decide to go to this little countryside. I guess it's just easier to take over. Then you focus on Sapporo, but either or. And what happened to the people? We don't know. All we know is that just apparently they're all gone.
Mm-hmm.
Never really said what happened. Did they evacuate? Were they driven out? What happened? We don't know. They're just gone. So now we could tear down all those houses and start building our Cobra Commander base.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who's gonna build it? You got no workers. You got no who's gonna build it?
I know, right?
I'm like, you could have taken the people and made them into slaves or something. You could have done that.
Heck, Dante and Randall made a whole scene about who built the second Death Star.
We all know it was the Empire. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like it was just again, they just started rebuilding. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, but the question in the movie was like they had to do a rush job because the first time they had 30-ish years to do it, but like the second time they only had 3, and so it's like for a job that big they have to hire independent contractors.
Mm-hmm.
And then the question is the morality of whose fault is it really when those independent contractors die at the end of Jedi? Like, is it their fault for agreeing to do a job for the Empire knowing the risk? Or is it the job of the rebellion because, like they're not what's called not co-signed, but they're not conscripted members of the Empire.
Well, I don't know. There was a scene that, again, not to boast too much on this. There was a scene that was removed from the original of Return of the Jedi, where like that scene where Vader showed up and was telling that one guy to double their efforts because the Emperor was coming. For some reason, it's like in the very beginning of the movie, like when Vader first showed up.
Yeah. Was it deleted? Because I remember seeing it in my DVD.
No. That wasn't the scene that was deleted. Throughout the entire movie, that one guy, that one general, that one person that Vader spoke to, they cut out his scenes where throughout the movie, it kind of showed like that a lot of the people in the Empire weren't really bad guys. They were just like, again, it's military. So there was a scene where they had the Death Star, but it's like, oh, because the antenna, because the base on Endor was destroyed, that was what stopped it. No. Apparently it was the general who said, no, we're not doing this. We're not, denouncing the Empire and Vader. Like they were, no. Like it was him who was supposed to do it. But they were like, someone was like, we can't make the bad guys the good guys. Why not?
Yeah.
You don't think that people who were in a certain army in Germany didn't think, is this what we're doing? Is it really necessary? I mean,
Hans, are we the baddies?
yeah, pretty much. Because it's just like, again, like you would have given, like, maybe not all of them, but there are some people there that are like, are we actually doing?
See, this is the singular nitpick I have about Araki. That in the epilogue of not Phantom Blood, of Battle Tendency, Rudolf von Stroheim died on July 13th, 1942 in Stalingrad. And my issue with that is that instead he should have died in Berlin in June 20th, 1944. There is a difference between the two. In one version, he dies a Nazi. In the other version, he dies a German.
And one thing is in this whole film is that, well, especially in Black's case, I kind of question like the passage of time, because again, we find out that Gorgum kidnapped, or not kidnapped, but is holding his family hostage without them knowing. But it's all happening back up north, almost like 500 miles away.
Yep.
And then within like not even 20 minutes, Kotaro is already in Hokkaido from Tokyo.
Yep.
There is no land bridge. There is no connection between the island of Hokkaido and mainland Japan.
Yeah. See, what's really interesting about Amazon and how it takes place in Kobe is that they stay in Kobe for a decent amount of time because it's an actual area at a harbor where, if you're going to go to other parts of Japan, very likely you will have to take a boat to get there.
I mean, regardless, it's a film, it's a tokusatsu property, whatever. But I mean, it's like, yeah, Kotaro just and not on road sector, or not even oh my god, why do I forget his bike's name?
A Battle Hopper.
Battle Hopper. It's his normal bike. I would imagine, okay, if you use them, all right, cool, but that would still be 4 to 5 hours that you would be driving.
Yeah. So instead he takes road sector. Apparently that solves all the problems.
If you took road sector, then I'm like, okay, yeah, apparently that thing can get like teleport now. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, we go to the town and there's no one there, obviously. So what exactly is gonna happen here, or what is the main focus of bringing Kotaro here? Well, he has to save the scientist and his family, along with the mayor and their family, because they're being held hostage. Okay. So out of the goodness of your heart, bless your heart.
Yep.
But yeah, not a lot goes on after this point.
Yeah.
Like, other than just the fact that now we have like the obligatory standoff between Gorgum and Kotaro. But then, of course, let us throw in the rest of the kaijins that have been defeated in the past. Always a classic trope. So we have the silkworm, the rose, we have the mantis, the eagle, the rhinoceros, pretty much almost every mutant that has died.
Thankfully, there weren't any squirrel mutants.
Yeah. So we have that little montage, that little like throwdown. But again, is it anything that Kotaro could not handle? I mean, you've beaten these guys already.
Yep.
I mean, it is actually nice to see these kaijin suits used again. Not bad.
And mind you, this is all part of some genjutsu that Shadow Moon used on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I forgot we do have an official kaijin in this movie, which is the dogfish.
Which looks more like a dolphin, but
Well,
to each their own, I suppose.
I really don't get how or where they get the ideas for these kaijins. I'm like, okay, fine. But again, I'm like, you know what? It's really, really bad that you have the dogfish right here and comparing it to the other kaijins that you guys brought back or like another member of that species. Again, the budget. The budget. The dogfish has this mouth that just the bottom just keeps wiggling around.
It's hilarious.
Are you not? Did you not fasten that? What? And again, comparing it to the past kaijin, who are like, the eagle probably was the best looking out of all of them. But you could just tell if you could just like line up every single kaijin, you can totally tell that the quality, that the money was just like starting to slowly peter out. Also, again, this is not a nitpick, but this is just another observation. Where did Golgum get military grade combis and tanks with the emblem of black or the Golgum emblem on it?
Well, I'm glad you did that save towards the end because I was going to say technically that emblem on Kamen Rider Black, I don't even know if my t-shirt even has the emblem on it. The emblem is technically not an emblem of Black himself, but rather a Golgum emblem.
Yeah, but
it's because his suit is technically made for Golgum. He has the emblem, and when we go to the next season, it's like you get that cross because the emblem just happens to look like part of an R. So it's like, oh yeah, let's draw a line across it so it's RX.
RX, yeah.
Yeah. Well, when I was a kid and when I was younger and found out that like he was called RX, I'm like, so is he like a pharmaceutical Kamen Rider?
Yeah. But yeah, I'm just like, so wait, Golgum has like its own shocker division now?
Since when?
Yeah.
Why didn't you use it sooner?
I'm like, you guys have military tanks and Humvees and Jeeps that you could have used. Why haven't you done that before? But yeah, for some reason, because again, these vehicles are all decked out in the emblems of Golgum, and I'm like, that doesn't seem like Golgum to me. That doesn't seem like something they would do, honestly. Again,
and yet it is something that they did.
again, you can tell that the tonal shift actually happened because this was not something that would normally happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, and obviously, passing through that, bumping into his brother again, Nobu just being a dick and be like, oh, you've invaded my home, my new summer house in the northern part of Japan.
Fresno.
Yeah, you know what? Why would you build a summer house somewhere where it snows? Well, no, I get why, but at the same time, like normally a summer house would be by the beach or something, or by a lake.
Yeah, you'd think that.
You think, but you're like literally no joke. I actually looked up the area. There is no body of water. There's nothing for like you're. It's literally smack in the middle of Hokkaido.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, you probably did just because of the mountain regions and it looks spooky. I get it. I get the goth aesthetic you're
You
going.
gotta have that. You gotta have that lightning bolt on top of the house.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, we do get a pretty like they do summon the kaiju, and it's pretty cool how they summon them. Flaming torches, and they all appear, by the fires and whatnot. But other than that, it's like, yeah, like I said, if you were to take a look at the kaijins that were in previous episodes, like from this, maybe 10 back, and then you look at the ones from the original, from the first, like from 1 to 15, you're like, okay, yeah, I see it. I see the quality kind of petered out here a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I do see it. But yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
not only do we have the fight with the Kaijin, but we also have a fight with Shadow Moon. And what does that battle consist of? Nothing, pretty much. Like, oh, I got you in a headlock. I got you. Like, again, it's like two brothers fighting, just giving him noogies or whatever. But then Kamen Rider, Black uses his flash attack that just apparently nukes everybody now.
Yeah, the Kingstone Flash is apparently the okay. Like it's not as strong as like I'm about to describe it in Climax Heroes 5, because it is in Climax Heroes 5, but the way it's used in the show is like the way Akira Date's breast cannon is used in Climax Heroes 5, which, by the way, it's more powerful than Kingstone Flash in the same game. Just breast cannon. Burst.
I mean, it'd be something if it could eradicate, because it apparently is using the power of the sun. I'm like, yeah, no, a solar flare would actually eradicate most enemies, but here it's just like,
that's not something it was made clear.
Yeah, here it's just like, so I'm guessing everyone in Golgum just hates being outside.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand why you guys worked in the shadows, but now you guys are actually outside in broad daylight. So what's the difference between it's like, so do you hate the sun or not? Oh my God, a flashing light. We must retreat. Okay. You're not going to fight anymore? No, the flashing light scared us. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. What? Wait a minute. Don't you guys have that giant robot that the scientist made? Where is the scientist? Oh, he's in a cell with a very easily escapable trap. No joke. They gave the professor and his family the walls are coming in, but they're spikes. Why'd you give him the spikes? The spike, okay, one spike and then another spike is right here, and I could easily. There's no reason to even have spikes. You could just put them in a presser, and I'm like, yeah, being crushed is gonna suck. But it's very easily escapable, because next thing you know, before it just started and Kotaro shows up and then rips them out. And I'm like, okay. And I'm guessing because Road Spectre slammed through the west side of the house, the entire house starts blowing up. And not just that, but the giant robot that you guys showed us in a matte painting, crushing the Kamen Rider like a bug, that also blows up.
Yep. Oh yeah, there was like a thing where the entire building blows up, and like, oh no, everyone has to evacuate.
That explosion was a ridiculous, like Hollywood level explosion. And then I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm hoping everyone got out far enough.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting is that like for a hot minute, we spent a lot of time thinking of like trying to come up with ways to turn children into mutants. I'm like, so are you like turning any of the citizens of this town into mutants? Because like in an earlier scene, the entire town just disappeared.
Uh-huh.
Like that one scene from Devil's Advocate where all of the streets of New York were just gone.
Yep.
And I'm like, where the hell did all these people go? I hope they're not in this base.
Yeah, no, they never really say where the people went. They just said they're all gone. And I'm like, so you just let them? Did you tell them that you were coming and they just evacuated? What exactly? What I'm hoping they weren't in some secret basement in the bottom of that mansion you built.
Mhm.
Because again, yeah, the mansion explodes, ridiculously explodes, but we still got one more threat, which isn't really a threat. We still have to deal with the dogfish mutant. And I'm like, yeah, come on, let's wrap it up. Come on. But we have a very cool, like they go down the hill tumbling scene, and yeah, just a simple rider kick here, and again an explosion and implosion, and the dogfish is gone. The threat has been defeated. I think the threat was defeated when you blew up the building and the giant robot that didn't do anything. Because the dogfish, I'm like, what did he do?
Mhm.
He had a flappy jaw. Okay. No poison, no flamethrower in the mouth, not even acid or acid bubbles or poisonous fish that it would throw. No, just a dogfish.
Yeah. Yeah, like at least bring back that one mushroom because at least it had genjutsu abilities.
I mean, again, that's what I said in the last stream. Like, it just seems that anything that isn't like a plant or an insect, they're just brawlers. That's it. It's
Yeah.
really no different than if the three wise guys were to fight. At least you guys got lasers.
Actually, as a matter of fact, remember that one kaijin from the episode before the mushroom one, the one with the electrical cocoons. What if you just
Yeah,
bring those two kaijin back?
yeah,
Just bring back,
the silkworm.
yeah. Just bring back the silkworm and the mushroom. Just these two. Use the illusion powers to disorientate Kotaro while keeping him inside a huge network of electrified cocoons, so that while he's disorientated, he's going to end up landmining himself from one electric trap to another electric trap. Surely that would wear him down to a certain degree. But let's be honest, at the end of the day, Nobuhiko's not going to let that happen because it has to be a one-on-one fight between the two of us for it to count.
Yeah, no, I know. And yeah, after that, apparently the townspeople returned because we cut to a scene of an amusement park that's in that area. And again, this seems like a very Ichigo thing for to happen.
Yeah.
That they're like, of the mayor and everyone's like, but who saved us? And the kids. What kids were in this movie?
Uh-huh.
The kids are like, oh, don't you know, Mr. Mayor? It was the
It was the Kamen Rider.
It was Kamen Rider Black who saved us. And I'm like,
wait, how do you know his name is Black?
How do you know this?
Like, I'm gonna go full Trunks on this. This man isn't Black. It's just Kamen Rider.
I'm like, again, I know I'm making it sound like it's a problem, but again, by the tone of the story and how it is, it's like, okay, did anyone ever say in Ols that Kamen Rider Ols saved us? No. They knew it was Eiji.
Yeah.
And they never referenced that he was a Kamen Rider. They was like, okay, just, you know. And same thing with Kiva. It was like no one knew that Wataru was Kiva, not even Shizuka.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until like the last episode that they actually confirmed that, oh, okay, so you are okay, cool, great. So you have okay. Same, I mean, obviously there are certain things that I'm like, yeah, you know, maybe when it came down to like Agito and Kuga and Ryuki, possibly because again the theming, but majority of the time, none of the Kamen Riders have ever had like children or anyone blatantly say who they are, or
Nope.
like just some random group of kids like knew who he like. Where you guys weren't even in this episode? How do you guys know this?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
again, it's that whole like again, Tokusatsu was doing this at the time where whether it be a Godzilla movie, a Gamera movie, any type of Toko, apparently children knew. You know, there's that whole like
Yeah, because like even in Ichigo, it's like the kids didn't know who Kamen Rider was. They
no.
knew that oh, if you need help from the Kamen Rider, contact Takashi Hongo, but they never put two and two together that Takashi himself was Ichigo.
And the thing was also, it's like, yeah, you know, there's that whole like, you know, random kid just enters a military base, secret military base to explain to the scientists what's going on and how does this kid know this?
Monster came out and grabbed my mommy.
Now you know, dear, there's no such thing as monsters.
It's again,
Not
it's
the
like,
same, but still.
there is a child between the ages of 6 and 8 years old explaining to a bunch of guys in white coats with degrees and like, you know, PhDs, and it's like this kid knows more about the monster, about the threat, than you eggheads do.
Low key, that is the plot of Ultraman Omega. Let's be honest. It's like this random guy with amnesia somehow knows more about kaiju biology than all of these scientists actively doing forensic research on kaiju corpses.
I mean, with that, I'm like, no, he probably, again, some people get amnesia and apparently they start speaking another language that no one ever knew they knew how to speak. So I'm like, okay, but
I'm just saying, it's like
again, the children that had nothing to do. I'm like, we didn't have any children in this episode or in this movie. What the hell? How do they know? The kids know. The kids know. All right, okay. You know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. There's some, I don't understand why they do this trope, and not just in Japan, but in all movies. Oh, we have to put kids in here to make. I never identified with kid characters ever. Even as a child, I was like, I don't care about this dumb kid. I care about what's happening in the movie. I care about what's happening with, like, how are they going to get out? How are they going to survive? I don't care that there's a little kid here that apparently knows how to use a computer to lock the doors to keep the damn dinosaurs out.
You're not wrong. I always identified more with Jeff Goldblum's character in the movie.
You cared about what was how are they going to get out? Not that there's just some random little kid that knows how to like to go into top government files and know how to access. I'm like, how do you know this?
Because that one Angelina Jolie movie.
Hang on, just randomly typing. I'm hacking the firewall.
Oh, it's like I'm gonna make your server look like it's a Windows 98 game.
Yeah. Again, I get it, but
your typing, your hacking skills are so amazing. It looks like you're typing the same buttons over and over again.
This was probably the most like amazing like hacking I've ever seen in my life, and this is coming from an anime, not real life. Though, like that scene in your. Yeah, Ghost in the Shell, where the guy's fingers just crack open and it's all a bunch of little mini fingers like going.
Yes.
Through. Yeah.
Like, and in case you forget that it happens, they'll remind you every episode in the opening theme song.
That is possibly the most like, yeah, no, that's hacking. That's how you do it. Not this whole like just randomly hitting the letters on the button on the keyboard. I'm like, what? But also I'm like, yeah, it was the 90s. You had to actually do commands on a computer. You had to put in access codes and tell the computer what to do. It wasn't like now, just point and click. No, today.
I'm a soldier, значит, я и ответчик, и судья стою на двух концах огня.
Yeah, no, that's kind of the thing that I was like, okay, why did we have to put the random kids in this? And then again, the Kamen Rider drives off. I'm like, well, at least there weren't kids. At least there weren't kids on a hillside waving him goodbye. And I'm like, where did these kids come from?
Yeah, it's like if they were at least plot relevant. Heck, that little girl from the first Kamen Rider movie, like at least she was plot relevant.
There are times it works, and there are times that it doesn't. There's some episodes we've reviewed that I'm like, why did you need to have a child here? Why did you need to do this with a child? Like it could have been anybody.
Yeah.
Here,
heck, even all the other kids from that first movie, it's like at least we know why they're there. This little girl has a birthday. She's friends with Goro, and they have mutual friends who are also fans of Kamen Rider. So of course, Goro's gonna know that's like she was kidnapped. Goro's gonna help, rescue her. And when she does get rescued and they celebrate her birthday, she and Goro and all the other guests are like, thank you, Kamen Rider, for not ruining this birthday party. See, at least those kids make sense. But here it's like, you kids, like, okay, only two kids would have any involvement in this. The mayor's daughter and the scientist's daughter, and no one else.
Yeah, but we have a group of kids telling them, not the scientist's daughter or the mayor's daughter. In fact, the mayor had a son. Yeah, there were just these random kids. I'm like, who the fuck are these guys? But yeah, that's it. That is the Phantom House of Devil's Past of Kamen Rider Black.
Well, I'll say this much. I did not dislike it as much as Onigashima.
No. I mean, this one actually had a premise, although the thing was, like, you introduce a giant robot and you never used it.
That was probably the biggest downside of this movie.
That I was like, okay, what the hell? Why even bother then? Why even? It's like I forget what it's called Chekhov's gun. It's a term in theater. If you introduce a gun in the first act, then by the third act, you got to use the damn gun.
In some way.
Yeah, don't matter how, but you introduced a gun. So you have to use it in some way. Here, you introduced the gun, but you never used it. Hell, you didn't even turn it on. We just saw it stationary there, and it blew up like cheap cardboard.
It's really heck, even like the statue from the Joestar Manor, at least it was plot relevant because it was used to impale Dio.
Yeah, no, there's got to be a reason. Hell, if they had blown up the mansion and then the robot blew up and apparently like the dogfish kaijin was there in that area and got crushed by the robot, I'm like, all right, well, there's a purpose. I mean, we didn't use it, but it was used for something. It wasn't just to blow up. That's the kind of thing that I'm like, why did we introduce this if we're not going to? It's the same thing with, like, I think I mentioned it with Fies. Why do we have the blaster mode if you're only going to use it once?
Twice.
See, like, even the second time was not, I kind of blended it all together. I'm like, I don't recall you ever using it other than that one time.
Yeah. 4 if you count the movies.
I mean, if you count the movies, I'm like, all right, but it's like, yeah, no, you have this crazy power in the movies. Why didn't you use it in the show?
Well, amnesia in the first one.
No, but also like in any Kamen Rider, it's like, wait a minute, you had like the twin rockets, and like, why didn't you use that against so and so?
Well, he used against Virgo, but you're not wrong. There would have been other situations where, hold on. Oh man! If only the Twin Rocket one was around before they had to fight against Pixis, then it would have been super helpful because remember how like Pixis basically like cut off their ability to get to the rabbit hatch. So like he had to creatively like use his motorcycle as cannon fodder, so he could just barely get to the moon's orbit. I don't even remember how he even got back down. But yeah, no, it's like I can't wait to revisit that season just so I could remember how he got back down. But yeah, no, it's yeah, what was I gonna say? But yeah, no, it's why he even use it. But you know what amuses me about Chekhov is that his full name is Anton Pavel Chekhov, but it just so happens that in the Star Trek reboot, and this actually is a reboot because it is in an established alternate timeline that is connected to the original timeline. The character Pavel Chekhov is played by an actor named Anton Yelchin. Anton played Pavel Chekhov. Anton Pavel Chekhov. That's crazy, man. It's like how in Eureka 7, the three kids are named Maurice, Mater, and Link because of the writer Maurice Maeterlinck.
Yeah.
Not very subtle, but still.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, gotta look at references. Yeah, doesn't look like we have any comments tonight, but we still didn't give our scores. I give this one 8.5.
It's an 8. I mean, other than that last little tidbit towards the end, I'm like, wow, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I would give it a 9 if like you just use the end.
Yeah, obviously, I'm like, you know what? The battle between Shadow Moon and the Kamen Rider was actually very entertaining. It's just like, again, I'm like, so just by turning on your high beams, you were able to scare him off. That's kind of the thing that I'm like, why? How? Okay. All right. I guess. Okay. I wish there was a little bit more. Maybe if you had like wounded Shadow Moon, he would have retreated because but okay,
it would have made sense.
Yeah, but yeah, it's an 8. Obviously, I mean, not bad for a little movie, but it could have been worse.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's again for me, it's literally the like, why introduce the ed if you're not gonna use it? But no, it did a better job making use of it. Like, you don't have Shadow Moon trying to run interference to the three mages.
Yeah,
that's a Belgenia thing. It's not a Shadow Moon thing. Show Shadow Moon some respect. Yeah, but if you guys enjoyed, please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Ding the bell icon, stay notified for our latest videos. We discuss Kamen Rider Black, Kamen Rider Zets, number 1 Sentai Go Juger, Ultraman Omega, and Tojima Tanzaburo wants to be a Kamen Rider. Also, check out our sister channel, The Buttery Show, where we discuss various movies and TV shows. And recently, we did upload several new vlogs and interviews. Most recently, our vlog of, very recently, our vlog of our concert experience at the Blue Oyster Cult, as well as earlier today, uploaded Sailor Moon, the Super Live North American Tour. It was way back in March, but we finally have it uploaded for you guys to enjoy. And also, our most recent interview was with Sam Marin, who played Pops Benson and Muscle Man. 3 wonderful regular show characters. And we got 4 more interviews left and 1 more vlog left to post. So hopefully the next, by Christmas, I don't promise by Christmas, but definitely by New Year, we should have everything uploaded for you guys to enjoy, because it's the holiday seasons. We love you guys. So yeah, for the to all our viewers tonight, happy first night of Hanukkah to 11 days later, Merry Christmas, and 8 days after that, Happy New Year. I don't know the dates for Kwanzaa. I apologize. I'm not as cultured as I would like to be, but happy Kwanzaa to those who celebrate it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you want to say hi to us in person, we're going to be at the Pasadena Convention Center on January 25th for Pasadena Comic Con. We're going to be at the Burbank Marriott for Robo Toy Fest on May 31st, and then we're coming back to the Burbank, not Burbank, Pasadena Convention Center on August 28th through the 30th for Power Morphicon. We are excited for all three of these events. We can't wait to see you guys there. And until next time, also check out our personal content. And until next time, please enjoy your holiday seasons. Make the most of your time with your friends and family. We hope to see you again real soon. Goodbye.
Good night, guys.